Welcome back to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Brian.
I'm Cold.
Oh, he's Cold Craig, and we've got a doozy for today. It is cold. It's a comparison of the 2024 Ford Expedition Timberline, which is super sweet, and also what right here?
Yes.
2024 Sequoia in the new TRD Pro color Terra, as in terracotta. Man, these are really comparable. We've got the ultimate, I'm going to call it the Bad A family haulers of both of these. They're off-road spec, they're twin turbo V6, one's got a little hybrid behind it too. Both have lockers, both have low range, and both of them have a lot of capability and comfort. So with all that covered, let's just get into it. So let's just talk about the Expedition first. We'll get to the Sequoia last. Optically, this looks awesome. And we're in the boring white color, by the way. You can get this in a beautiful forest green, but let's talk about the specs real quick. This came to us from our boys at Shottenkirk. 84,805 is the actual Monroney. We do have the 501A package, which gives you the sunroof, the bigger screen, the stereo, and heated second row seats for $9,220. Yikes. So that means that starting out, this thing is $75,000. And we'll talk about the price on Sequoia in a minute. They're closer than you think. This is white. It's good to go. We are lucky enough today to work with our boys at Shottenkirk in Granbury, Texas. We have, as you've seen on previous episodes, we don't always get what we want from the manufacturers, and that's the case here. We talked to Ford, they just don't have a Timberline in their fleet right now. The only way to make this happen is to partner with our guys in Granbury. Please check out the contact info below if you're looking for one. Raupe is our guy who helped us out. They're just great. At a moment's notice, they hook us up and we're able to compare things that we have on hand. It's awesome. So thanks for that. Now while we're down here, Craig, what's this right here? Well, it's plastic, but
it's a Timberline logo.
It's a Timberline logo. Also, you get the orange stripe, little Fu Manchu right there. Let people know you're serious about it.
It's orange, not red.
Not red.
Kind of hard to tell on camera.
Plastic still, plastic.
But it looks metal.
But
there's real metal.
Okay,
yeah.
real metal.
Okay.
Also, real tow hooks that are just out front where they need to be.
More on that in a minute.
More on that in a minute.
Yeah.
I do like that it's just there and readily available and good to go. You do have the Ford logo in black on the Timberline instead of blue.
Hang on. You like that? Or should it be blue? Should it always be blue?
I feel like it should always be blue, but it does signify something special. All right, you've got a Ford cam on this. It has a great camera system on it, very comparable, and you still have your parking sensors involved, which on these big honkers, you need them.
Oh, yeah.
Your lights have a good CWAR Ford design, which they do that. They're really good about that. LEDs in the middle, LED fog lights below. That's something where I think the Toyota might have it whipped. We'll talk about that in its light bar in a second. Wheel and tire, let's come on down. These boys look like they're straight off an ox cart, and what I mean by that is the tread pattern. Let me show the people real quick right here. Look at that tread pattern. Look at that.
Looks like a trailer tire.
It looks like a trailer tire, and I'm here to tell you, it kind of drives like one. Driving here on the highway at speed, I was making a lot of steering inputs, and we've driven a bunch of Expeditions. They don't all do that. That's just this tire. I would immediately swap these. In fact, budget $1,000 on top of your purchase price to put a different tire on. Sorry. It's
just do a swap on a marketplace. You'll find something.
Yeah, get some Raptor takeoffs. You'd be perfect for this. So anyways, the wheel though, it's an 18-inch wheel. It looks good. I think it's appropriate. It's powder coated in gloss, but with this much beefy tire around it, you're not going to hit it on anything anyway, so you're good to go. These are Territory ATSs, and they are 265/70/18s.
Very common tire.
Common tire, 33-inch tall tire for you off-road guys. Next most important thing that no one else gets right. Oh, what you got, Craig?
That's a very excited camera. It really protrudes.
It's very, I can't say. No, this
okay,
is
all right, continue.
All right, so anyways, we do have right here.
What?
Look at that.
Oh, do it again. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, look at that. And then also, well, I don't have the key in my pocket. I don't lock it. But you hit the bottom two numbers, it will lock. Roof rack, baby. We've got rails, but we've got no basket on it. But the good news is you can put your tent on here. You can get your Instagram points. Win, win, win. Down the back, Timberline logo. You gotta let people know what you're paying for. This is kind of like the bedside of a truck. If there's something not there, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Rear tire, no different. Gas cap, my favorite thing. Ooh, opens up easy, no big deal. Capless. Come on, Ford. You know exactly what's going on. Anybody else that's not doing that? Consider it. That's all I'm saying. Consider it. Out back, this seems silly. I really like it. The dimensional letters have that same orange behind them.
No, I'm with you. This is a really good touch. It ties in with this orange here. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a theme. It's cohesive. I just think it works so well. And this is the boring white one. You can get in different colors. All right, coming on down. We do have under this cover, I'm not gonna take it off. We've gone through this. It's a 7-pin and a 4-way flat.
What's that? What's this little rubber thing underneath here? What is that?
This, what? That's a tire.
Oh, spare tire.
Yeah.
A real one.
A real one. Wow, no donut, no inflator kit. A real spare tire. We like that a lot. And also we've got twin tips, baby. Let's hear it. Yeah, I love turbos. Let's check that out up front. All right, boys and girls, it's time for the boost. We've got two of them, 2 turbos, baby, and 2 cylinder heads because it's a V6. No inlines here. No hybrids either. 440 horsepower, 510 foot-pounds of torque, and a lot of piping and sensors and tubes. It just works. This thing's a freaking powerhouse. We've driven this 100 times before. 0-60 in the mid to low 5s. That's insane, and it can also tow a bunch. So all out of the way, let's check out the Toyota. All right, it's Sequoia time, guys, and my goodness, is this handsome, and I love the Terra color, but let's talk about this snout. It is slightly different than a Tundra, and mainly in the lower bumper. But most importantly, I'm being blinded right now by some of the brightest lights in the segment. At night, in the middle of nowhere, these are gnarly, and part of that is due to the TRD light bar that's mounted in the grille itself. It's not just for looks. This thing is tied to the high beams. So those and the high beams are on at the same time, and it is just the sun, right? Yes. This is not some cheapo Amazon bar. This one works. Really happy with that. You also get the triple side marker in the middle as if it was a Raptor. That's cute, I like that. Big, bold Toyota letters, and then a grille that flexes enough if you had to bump something, you're okay. Forward-facing cam and radar sensor in the middle for all the self-driving stuff. Now going lower is where it gets important and gets more TRD specific. The normal Sequoia has the lowest air dam in the segment. You can't drive over a curb stop without hitting it. This gets rid of that. So you can actually do some off-road work. You got a better approach angle. We'll talk about approach angles at the end. We're gonna do a little bit of a spec shootout on the 2. Headlights, equally as gnarly, and the turn signals are awesome. They have a really cool sequential segment. I like that. Now, let's talk about wheel and tire. Come on over here. This is where I think TRD Pro is just better than the Ford in personal objective opinions. This tire is a better tire. It's a Falcon Wildpeak AT3W. Now, this is not the full-fledged AT3W. It has a little less tread in it than if you went to Tire Rack and bought your own. These are specific to Toyota. I couldn't tell you why, but it just is. We've talked to Toyota about that. It's a different tire. The wheels are BBS. They're 18-inch, and they're forged, and they are strong as heck.
And awesome looking.
And awesome looking. They look really good. These are 285 65/18, so they're a little bit bigger than the Fords, and they don't look like a trailer tire, so that's a good plus. You can't see because it's kind of dirty, but there's a digital camo on this fender flare, which looks super cool. I like that. These are kind of the things that the Expedition forgoes. It doesn't get a kind of a rough and tumble fender flare. So, do like that. Keeping with the TRD Pro trim is this vent on the hood that doesn't actually vent. It's just here for looks, but it looks. Here's the mirror. Hey, Craig, can you see me?
There you are.
Yeah. We're speaking from experience. This is not a great mirror. If you go into tow mode, this comes further out and it gets worse. And I'm gonna kind of divulge in it. The main reason the problem is this is super thick. It has to be for rigidity, but if you look at like any of the HD trucks, they have a twin post so you can see through them and not have this blind spot. Also, this mirror is not only further out, it curves. So you're in the driver's seat and you're looking to the left to check the mirror. You've got to turn your head, not your eyeballs.
Yeah, so if you're sitting in the seat right there, like I can't see the driver, which means the driver can't see you.
Exactly. So your peripherals are kind of like limited a little bit. A traditional mirror is right here and you can just glance with your eye, no big deal, do your check around you. This thing's just, it's not that it's out, it's that it's over. Not the best design.
It's too big.
Legitimately, we don't like this. You also have a spotlight on the side here that only works when you're in park. I wish you could at low speeds activate this. That'd be kind of cool. Now, side rails. This is where it really kicks butt. These are like an older Raptor or a current Raptor side rail. They're super strong and they're metal and they're coated with like a bedliner type material.
Yeah, I like those.
Big fan of those, and much like the Fords, they're not too big. They're good.
Yeah.
Hello, this is where it wins the day. Roof rack, it has an integrated rail system. And this roof basket is actually kind of expensive, but boy, it's pretty quiet for a roof rail. I've never had one this quiet that's a basket like that. It does really good, and it's mounted back, so you're not getting a ton of wind noise with it while you're driving. All right, coming up back, you've got a similar design on the fender flares. You have an integrated LED on the side, which looks super cool.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, good markers. Yeah. And then we come to the taillights that also have super cool sequential function. Coming on down, we have, much like the Ford, dimensional letters, but they don't have a color behind them. Okay, that's not a fault. I just think the Ford ones look a little cooler, but these still look really, really nice.
Spaced out really far, too.
Well, it's a big rig. It's a wide truck. It's kind of like the infotainment. We'll show it in a minute. Under here, you do have a hitch, and I don't want to, there it is. All right, just like the Ford, the cover has to come off, but you've got, look how beefy this is. That's a massive hitch. Then you've got your 4-way flat and your 7-way pin right there. It can get the towing done. Yeah, quite the beast, but also check out those twin tips. Let's see what that hybrid sounds like. Okay, who knew hybrid sounded that excited? That was pretty cool. A lot of turbo sounds. Let's check out the interior.
Check out the interior of these bad boys. Just because they're off-road vehicles doesn't mean the interior doesn't matter, because you have a lot of gear in here. You got a lot of adults. I want to get to my gear and I don't want to open the hatch because there's a little button right here. See a little arrow? Very intuitive.
Oh, okay.
You just hit the button.
Good choice of words.
Look at that. You can reach your stuff. Oh, there's actually some room back there. Let's see how much room there actually is, Brian. Let's open this bad boy up all the way, because
that's also intuitive.
That's very intuitive. We've got the third row up. And we have, look at the amount of room back here. I just want to mention that. That's pretty interesting. No options to kind of do a shelf. More on that in a minute. But lots of room just for all your gear, and even more storage down here. That's really neat. Like that a lot. There's your jack for your full-size spare. That's actually a good-looking jack.
No inflator kits.
But we can also fold down these third rows. So there it is right there. Hit the button and auto fold down. Very nice.
Headrest. Okay,
and the headrest went down too. I was wondering about that. And now look at all the room you have for all your gear, or if you want to sleep in it. Who knows what you want to do. All right, on to the second row, Brian. We're not going to mention the third row in this vehicle because we reviewed an Expedition before. It's got one. Yeah. If you want more details on that third row, go watch our other video. But the door, Brian, I want to mention this little orange stitching. That's your Timberline. You're getting that. I love that part. Continues on to the seats. We get the orange stitching there as well. This particular model has the captain's chairs, and there's plenty of room. I'm sitting behind somebody that's got the seat really far forward, so it looks like I have even more room than normal. But all the functionality that you want and room. Most importantly though, Brian, before you get in, I want to point out that there is a massive moonroof, or what they call it, panoramic roof, which usually creates problems for you. Get in here, you're 6'4".
Okay, so I'm sitting behind myself, by the way.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do the butt shuffle.
Yep.
Knees, not a problem. Even behind me.
Not touching. You're not touching. Okay, very good. Very good.
The roof, still
every time.
Does this recline though? Let's try that. Does it recline? Oh, it reclines.
Okay, well, so
it's doable.
Yeah, okay,
and
so we can flip it out a little bit.
We got. It can be done, but just come on. I'm tired of this. Yeah, that's a me thing.
We do get we get tri-zone climate control, so that works back here. We have a little port for AC plug for your laptop, maybe. Who knows, your DS or Switch. People don't use DSs anymore. These switches.
I don't know.
USB-C. No USB-A, interesting move there, but
get with the times.
It's okay. And get mat pockets for both sides because it's a Timberline. We need to explore things.
Gotta navigate.
All right, to the front. Getting on in with my nice touch keyless entry pad. That's very nice. Same thing with the door here. You get the nice orange stitching, which ties in. Look at that dash over there on the side. You might have a little goodie on the side. Is that a little Easter egg?
That's you know what that is?
What is that?
That's a family expedition. You're going to the city.
It's a family expedition. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
Let's get on in this bad boy. This is a very nice place to be. Let's start it up with this. I want to show the people what we get here and what we're working with. You get the nice digital instrument cluster that the new Ford trucks have had for a while, and it works well here, no issues. Very nice to see. We do get the bigger infotainment. This is part of the 501A package, is that right?
That's correct. It's $9,000, and that gives you this and then the sunroof and stuff like that.
And this is we saw this first in the Lightning, and now we're seeing it in all the trucks, and it's just taller. It's more portrait mode. I'll be honest with you, Brian, I potentially might save the $9,000 for the smaller screen, which is still pretty big. Plus,
I think it works better. Yeah, your usable space is the same.
I'm fine. But this works great. There's nothing wrong with this. Let's move on to the goodies down here, though. We get the Qi charging. We get plenty of cup holders for McDonald's coffee, which
not a plug.
Best restaurant coffee out there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, or fast food coffee. Yeah. Sorry, Tim Hortons.
Well, hang on.
What? No?
I don't know about that.
Okay, let us know.
You said domestically.
Tim Hortons. Okay, domestically. Well, there's Tim Hortons here now.
Oh, there is.
Anyways, McDonald's coffee is the best. Argue with me in the comments. Moving on down here, we've got nice cubby holes, and look, this is actually works.
Like tons of storage.
We're gonna get to the Tundra in a minute. We're gonna talk about build quality and how things don't feel as cheap.
Yeah, like this right here. But kind of jagged plastic. And
the plastic's not as finished, but it doesn't make as many noises.
Oh, interesting thought.
So let's move on. Drive modes we have down here. Look at
what
button right there. That's a rear locker. This is the only Expedition you get a rear locker in?
You can on the higher trim with a suspension package, but it's like a 22-inch wheel package.
Yeah, nobody wants that. So let's move on down here. Drive modes. Drive modes, you get a bunch of drive modes here. You get the passenger door is ajar. Yeah, I know it is. It's not a jar, it's a door. Okay, normal, eco, sport, tow haul, and gosh, there's too many modes for it. Slippery, sand, and mud and ruts. Okay, they are not messing around. They've got a lot of stuff on here. And big differentiator here between the Sequoia, we'll talk about in a minute. 2 high, 4 low, 4 high, for auto.
Yes.
Very nice when you're in slippery or wet or icy conditions. Brian, let's move on over to the Sequoia. Time to check out the Sequoia's interior TRD Pro. We don't really get anything too specific TRD Pro wise, but let's check it out. Oh, very intuitive, little button right there to get your gear back hatch. Brian, there's some room back here, maybe a little less. It definitely looks a little smaller than the Expedition.
This is tighter.
But I will say this is a little lower, a little easier to reach. So that is a factor, something to keep in mind. Let's open the back. It says here there's a little Wi-Fi or maybe a foot thing. I'll kick it.
Oh, there it goes. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
I'm gonna try it again. Okay. Oh, okay.
Right,
open. So yeah, the footrest works real well. Just don't stand there too long holding something heavy.
It's the future.
And we get in here, Brian, and well, the third row's up, and I want to show. Look, that's the room. That's a hand. You get one hand before the head hits the. Well, when your head's here, then there's the glass.
Okay. So for scale.
Yeah.
This is a phone.
Yeah.
An iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as much room for sure back here. It is interesting that you do get these little, look, we got our gear back here, and you do get this little shelf system that you can move up in these three different tiers. I do like that you can put that in 3 different spots, but you don't really get a cubby hole back here. And the reason we're losing so much space back here, Brian, do you know why?
2 reasons.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hybrid.
Yep.
And live axle.
Yes.
Yep.
So one of those reasons actually is it bad? The other one maybe. I'll let you decide which one's the.
Yeah.
Okay, but these seats do fold down, Brian. They're powered. You hit the button. Oh. You hit the button.
All right, this is user error. Push the bottom one.
Okay. One's down, one's up. Always interesting. Look, we do this live to see how intuitive it is. It works.
But then.
And it folds flat. Oh.
Well,
it folds flat-ish. So then what you do is, Brian, you put your gear up here. I gotta move, and then we put this like this.
Okay. All right.
And like this.
All right. So now,
and then
when there's this flap.
This
like that.
This flap goes like that.
Well, hang on, wait. There's more. You got to push the. What's I got? You got to push the seat forward.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Now,
you make the bridge.
Then we make the bridge.
Okay.
And then it's.
Would you sleep on that?
Well, Brian, you know, a lot of people spend a lot of money on overlanding for raised platforms.
Oh, good point, actually. And you can still store things underneath. I'm nervous about weight capacity, but you know, if you're laying flat, it's probably fine.
Yeah. On the second row. All right, Brian, before we talk about the door or any seating and all the fun TRD Pro stuff, there is a third row, but we've reviewed Sequoias before. Check out those videos for more on the third row. Y'all don't care about that. Let's keep going. TRD Pro, Brian, we still get, look, peasant blockers.
Ooh, that's nice.
Very nice. Because, you know, when you're out in the wilderness, in the woods, on the trails,
you want privacy.
You don't want them deer to see what's going on with you.
Yeah, keep Sasquatch out of the car.
Yeah, stay out. Yeah. Okay. But you do get the red stitching on the door. I like that a lot. Kind of like the Expedition and the Timberline trim. I like that they carry the theme to the inside. That's really cool. Onto the seating, Brian. Look at this kind of digital camo.
That's cool.
Hidden behind the little perforations. That is really neat. I like that a lot. And Brian, I don't know if you look, there's been a truck through here.
Yeah,
but a tire tread.
I do love they've been nondescript with what tire tread it is.
Well, that way you can switch it out.
Exactly. It's not a KO2 or a Toyo specifically.
And then it kind of continues in here. I like this rubber matting that comes all the way through, even to the center step. Because look, when you're coming back here and getting in the back, you're going to make a mess. That's really nice.
That's such a good idea. I like
Let's sit down in our seat, and our seat is adjustable. Maybe no. Okay, you can do it. Can't do it. You can recline.
So just like the Expedition. Then.
Just like the Expedition. Very similar. Let's close it. And let's see what kind of got. I'm sitting behind myself. I'm 5'9".
That's
wow,
a lot of room.
That's a lot of room.
Yep.
So we get plenty of room there, Brian, and we also, just like the Expedition, oh, what's this? A panoramic roof. Kind of neat too, because you can see the roof rack back here. Pretty cool. But that usually creates problems for you. You're 6'4", Brian. You're sitting behind the seats a little farther back. Let's see what happens here.
Now I've got more knee room for sure.
Definitely seems like there's more leg room back here than the
Good
Expedition.
ratcheting armrests.
Okay.
And when I'm reclined, it kind of works about like the Expedition, but
similar.
when it's not reclined, it's substantially worse.
Okay.
So there's a motor right here.
Yeah. And it definitely protrudes more.
This makes me ask the question to Toyota. I've asked them this before. I don't know what they're modeling the American human body after.
Well, simple. Viewers, me, 5'9", average height, and
no. But why is the seat so wide then?
Okay, well,
it's short, wide people is what they have in mind.
Again, the average American.
Okay, no, they got it right. Okay, to the front.
To the front. Moving on to the front of the Sequoia TRD Pro, Brian, we get the nice door, little stitching here and padding. I like that because look, when you're driving and you're kind of balling, you can kind of just put the arm there.
Okay.
Very comfortable. And nice. Look, this all works here. No problems here. And also, there is some plastic. Go ahead and touch it. Touch it real quick. Make some noise. Do the TikTok thing.
ASMR.
Yeah, ASMR. Yeah. Very quality feeling. Yes, it's plastic.
More than that for sure.
And here's what we mean. Let's get in and let's talk about that a little bit because it's cold and I want to get in. The digital camo theme continues in here. Plus, look at that, Brian. You're paying $80,000 for that, and that's worth it.
Also,
that looks really good.
They do the letters with the color behind it on the inside.
It does look very good. And Brian, look at this. Let us know what you think in the comments. This is 12.3 inches, something like that.
This is the 85-inch screen TV of your house, is what this is.
One of my kids made a point. They said, look, when it gets bigger than the iPad, it's a little weird.
Okay,
so
that applies.
There's that. But let's start this up and let's talk about it a little bit. So let's get this bad boy going. We get some, oh, you hear that?
Oh, there's a TRD exhaust.
Yeah, we get the TRD exhaust. We get a digital instrument cluster that is non-configurable except for these gauges on the right here. You can change that. I like that a lot. This is actually trailer mode, which gives you all the gauges you want in the world. Continuing on, Toyota theme, buttons, 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 buttons,
Yes.
buttons, 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 buttons. We counted up in the other Sequoia. It was like 80-something buttons.
I think it was 84.
It was something ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
I want to talk about this Toyota user interface. This is one of the best user interfaces out there. I've got CarPlay on it right now, wireless, nice.
Works flawlessly, by the way.
The GPS, the host infotainment, the GPS and the music, I like it. It's really nice. I like this dark mode. But then you can go to CarPlay and it works, and you can seamlessly use CarPlay and the native UI really well.
They hold hands well, yeah.
Most manufacturers have struggled between the two, like use one or the other, don't use both. You can switch back and forth both of these, and it's actually not a problem. I like that a lot. That makes it very simple. So wanted to point that out. Brian, again, I want to point out that everything feels a little nicer here, build quality wise. Brian?
Specs.
Let's do a little compare of all the specs side by side.
All right, Craig, one thing we didn't cover is the Monroney on that. What does that one cost?
This bad boy, I've got it right here, is for the people at home that are keeping score. Comes to a whopping total of $83,000.
Okay, and how much of that is roof rack?
Roof rack is $1,400 basically.
Okay, so that's a lot. Okay,
a lot of that's roof rack, yes.
But without all the options, it's 78 grand, right?
Correct.
So the cheapest TRD Pro you can get is 78,000. Cheapest you can get here is 75,000. With the options it has, it's 84. So Ford's doing the cash grab game with the sunroof. I just skip that, and they're really, really competitive.
Kind of across lines, they're very comparable.
Right.
You can get technically a cheaper Expedition here, but you can get this one base with more options than that base one. So, you know, whatever.
And you can also go to an XLT or an SR5. There's tons of trim comparisons, but let's talk about the off-road stuff, because I think the person buying this cares enough to pay for that. So let's go with ABD.
Okay.
And then we're going to add G. So approach angle, what do you got?
Approach angle, I've got 23 degrees. The normal Sequoia is only 20 degrees. So we get an extra 3 degrees with the TRD Pro. Okay, well, we found with the normal Sequoia with the air dam is actually 15 degrees. Yes, not good. Yeah, so 23, 28.5. Wow, and you look, you can tell. You can see how much higher that is there from here. It's just
part of that's ground
way higher. Yeah, way higher.
Breakover?
Breakover, I don't have that spec.
Unpublished. 21.9, which is probably close to what that is. I think that's probably a 20-ish. Yep. Departure.
20 degrees, the same as all the other Sequoias.
20 degrees. It's not, okay. 23.7.
Okay, yeah, and that makes sense.
Okay, what about ground clearance? Because that affects all this.
And yeah, that's why we're seeing these numbers. 9.1 inches here. Okay. 0.5 inches more than the regular Sequoia.
Okay, this one is 10.6.
Wow.
Up from 9.8 on a non-Timberline.
10.6. Wow.
A lot. And that's full size.
And that's why you're getting the approach.
That's part of what that is. Coming from. And then I think most importantly, tow hooks. Look, they're just there.
They're here. You just have to run. They're back here. Yeah, you just have to.
And this has a great skid plate. That does too. It just has a bunch of plastic in front of it that you'd have to break to make the skid plate meaningful. Let's talk about power and weight.
Yes, that matters.
Yeah. What do you have on yours?
This weighs 6,150 pounds. It's kind of heavy. Kind of heavy. And you feel it when you're trying to stop it.
Oh, you do. Yeah. 57.59. That's a huge difference. Yeah. Part of that is aluminum body and non-hybrid.
Right.
No battery.
Yeah, the hybrid, the weight here is definitely affecting it, but it's helping its power. You want to hear that?
Yeah. What's your horsepower?
437 combined horsepower.
Combined.
With 583 pound-feet of torque.
That's a big number.
It's a lot.
Now, I don't know that you're always getting that, but
it doesn't feel like it.
It doesn't feel like that high. I think it would be just blowing tires off, and it's not. It's torque managing itself heavily. This does that too. 440 horsepower, no hybrid to help. That's just what this beast makes. 510.
Wow.
No battery behind it. So
both really powerful. Both will move.
Yeah, they're monsters.
This one's 0 to 60 publish times seem to be a little bit slower.
Yeah.
I will say both handle surprisingly well for the behemoths they are.
Well, this with different tires does. This handles pretty awful with the wagon tires on it, but we've driven Expeditions with normal tires. They handle pretty damn good. All that out of the way, I think the biggest takeaway to me is this gets more attention. People are just beside themselves. Is that the TRD Pro? Is that the new Sequoia? They love it.
Look, the badge and the roof rack help.
Absolutely. Fit and finish follow better there. This is probably a little more capable, which we'll find out on a hill test upcoming.
Another video, stay tuned.
Let us know what you prefer. I think that's all there is about it. These are ultimate family haulers. Which one's for you?
The best thing is you get an off-road version of both of these and you can bring all the people.
What a time to be alive.
Yes.
See you next time.
See ya.